Real Life Street Stars. We're here with Terilisha. Hold up.
Hold up, baby.
Now, for everybody ain't knowing deaf, dumb, stupid, living up under a rock, man, tell them where you from.
I am from the Triple D.
The
Dallas,
Triple
Texas.
D.
Yep.
Man, you know, they see the blue hair. Most folks, as you've seen some people in here, just notice you off top like, was you on The Circle?
Yeah.
Netflix?
Yeah.
We're going to go all the way through there, man. Yes, she was, and we're going to talk about her rise to that occasion. Let's go and do it like this, man. You know, we normally, whenever we have somebody first on the couch, we try to get an understanding as far as just who they were growing up, you know, the kind of family life they lived, and kind of get a background story. So, not trying to put in a nutshell, but go ahead and tell us the story of Terilisha as far as coming up in Dallas, born, raised, who you know, family and everything of that nature.
I was born in Dallas, but I was actually raised in Garland. That's like my
Shout out
childhood.
G-Town.
Yes, Garland.
Oh, look.
Elementary, middle school, high school. You know,
Shout out your elementary, shout out your middle school, shout out your high school, man, because, you know, we got G-Town love over here.
right. I went to Val Elementary,
Shout out Val.
Lyles Middle School,
Shout out Lyles.
and South Garland High School.
Shout out South Garland Colonels.
Yeah, you know the vibe. You've been
Yeah,
fam.
man. Yeah, man.
And you know, life for me, I think was just a blessing. You know, my mom, my dad, my twin sister, and then my little sister came later. And you know, I would say that I guess I was privileged. I didn't have the same type of story a lot of people have, so I count that joy and a blessing.
How is it, because not everybody gets to grow up with a twin or anything like that. How is that as far as for you, having a twin, having someone that is same age, identical, you could throw everything at? And
We're actually fraternal, but it's like having like a built-in best friend. But it also, you know, it comes with its challenges because we are so different.
Do y'all feel each other's pain?
I feel her pain. Ever since we were little, like when she got braces, my teeth hurt. She hurt her foot, my foot hurt. When she got pregnant, I had the worst morning sickness. She was great. Meanwhile, I was literally on the floor, dead, dying.
Man, you know, I always just thought as far as whenever, even with men twins and female twins, when it comes to growing up, you know, becoming an adult, y'all women, y'all start feeling yourselves and y'all start liking little boys, it's always like, is it a competition of who's first?
No.
Is it, or it happens and then you tell the other, or do you not tell them?
No, we actually have very, very different tastes. We never have ever liked the same guys.
That's wild.
Yeah, so, I mean, we're very different women, different people. So she has a type, I have a type, and it's not the same.
There you go. Now early on, you had musical aspirations. How and when did that start as far as just, you know, you being able to sing, you've been able to kind of cultivate your voice and things like that?
Shit. My whole life, literally, as far as I can remember, I've always had a love of music. I've enjoyed music and everything about it. And we come from a pretty much kind of a musical family in a sense.
Definitely.
My family's very talented. So I just always enjoyed it. You know, we grew up at a very special time and like born in the 80s, growing up through the 90s.
Very true.
So we grew up in a very special time of like Michael Jackson. So
there you go.
Everybody wanted to be Michael Jackson. I wanted to be Michael Jackson.
There you
go. Yeah.
Who was one of your, as far as female artists, that you just really had aspirations to like strive to either work like or just, you know, reach that level?
Aliyah.
Oh, shout out to Aliyah, man.
Yeah, R.I.P. Aliyah. She has a voice similar to mine. Like in the world of Brandy's and Monica's, those powerhouse singers, she was like right there in their pocket. And I feel like that's like how I sing. And so I inspired because I feel like she reminded me of me vocally.
How much of her style influenced you? You know, she had her own unique style back then as well.
I can't say I took anything from her style. It was just the fact that she had a sweeter voice, which is what I liked. And that inspired me because I knew if she could make it, then I could make it too.
There you go.
So.
Definitely. Well, even with to touch on Leah, man, because you know there was a time to where, you know, she was gone way too soon, and we've lost a lot of great artists. You know, in such manner with like Left Eye and things like that. for her to be like one of your favorites back then, how did her death affect you as far as like being a young lady?
I was sick about it. Like I cried. Like I grieved Aliyah like she was my sister. Yeah, it was bad for me. Like I was really, really sad because again, she was like my inspiration. Like I inspired to be like her. She was someone I looked up to. So I remember just being in high school and just being like sad. I actually in speech class, I've told this story before, but when they released the Rock the Boat video, I learned that full choreography.
Oh.
And performed it for my speech class. It was like as a presentation, and my dumb ass speech teacher gave me a 65.
Oh, she hating.
No, she didn't.
Oh, you must have missed a step.
No, I killed it. She didn't. She gave me 65 because she didn't understand why it was all girls in the video. She didn't understand that her background dancers why it was all girls. So she gave me a 65.
That still sounds.
I fucking shut South Garland down. I almost got expelled.
Damn, that still sounds like some hate, man. God damn. Now that one, what's that "Missing You" song with Jay-Z remix? Yeah, it still gets to me every time, man. Every time. Now, I want to fast forward it because we're gonna circle back to the music. No pun intended. But you actually, man, you did a major thing. Coming out of Dallas, coming out of especially Garland and stuff like that. We all strive for greatness. Just to bring back to the city.
Yeah.
Did you have an acting bug at one point in time where, as far as we're gonna touch on the movies too, but did you have like aspire to be an actress at all?
Always.
Okay.
I always wanted to do all things entertainment. Literally from a child, like from my very first play at elementary, The Capricious Pearl. Like I've always loved the art of entertainment, music, and acting. So I've always wanted to do it. So
that's real.
Yeah.
How does COVID hits? Netflix is kind of the only thing to sit back and watch. It goes crazy. People start going to the movies, and there's this show that comes on, and I personally see it. I'm like, damn. And I think you. I can't remember. I don't know if you announced it. And I saw the announcement, or if I saw the trailer of the show and then saw you on it. But The Circle, you was able to get top billed on The Circle. Mm-hmm. How does it take us through that process as far as getting that gig?
Just like everybody else, I watched season 1 of The Circle, and I was like, yo, I could win this show if I could get on it. So I submitted my application, like the casting application, and I got a call back really quick. And I think I was like the first person casted. It was like over 100,000 people had applied, and I made it to the top 8.
What was the casting process like? Just a submission of a video, or?
Well, everybody's situation is different, but for me, I submitted the application at their casting site, and then they called me, and then I did like a phone interview, and the phone interview was like really good, so they asked for like a video interview, and I did that, and then that's when they asked it was like a whirlwind. They asked for pictures and videos, and they submitted it, and then I did an interview like for the producers. I think it was Studio Lambert, and then once they liked me, I interviewed with the Netflix production, and from there, it was up.
And for those that are deaf, dumb, stupid, and been living on the rock, tell them what is the concept of The Circle if they've never seen the show.
If you've never seen Netflix The Circle, basically it's 8 individuals. They go into an apartment complex, and the only communication is through the circle. But the key is to be the most popular player at the end of the finale. But you can go in the circle as anybody in the world. So you can go in as yourself, like I did, or you can go in as a catfish. You can go in as a team. And the goal is to not get blocked. Get everybody else blocked, and make your way to the #1 influencer.
What was your strategy going in to just to be victorious?
It's funny because you think you're gonna have a strategy, that should be out the damn window, because the circle controls the circle, so they throwing so many things out there. But initially, I was like, I'm gonna go in and be myself, and I feel like myself was cool, was dope, and that people would genuinely like me for who I was, and that would allow me to be #1, and it worked.
It worked.
It worked at first.
At first. I mean, no,
It worked at first.
they loved it.
They loved it.
As a curiosity, if you would have went in as somebody else, who or what personality would you have picked?
You know, that's really hard to say because I don't know.
Would it have been male or female? Would you have tried to be a male in the circle?
I would have to try to be like a girl because being a man is hard. As y'all see, y'all watch the show.
You
Like
can't fake it too hard.
I'm a girly girl. You know, I don't know sports like that. I don't know man stuff. But they start asking about car parts. I would have been the fuck up out of there. Like, I don't know.
For real. But you did choose to be yourself and be all the way 100. It was actually cool because even as I'm watching it, I know you, and it's like I'm seeing you, and I'm like, man, this is real.
Yeah.
As real as it's gonna get.
Yeah.
Do you feel like keeping it real in this sense for everyone that's gonna be in future seasons and things like that? Keeping it real can go wrong.
Keeping it wrong can go wrong. Keeping it fake can go wrong. So keeping it real, like, I don't think my issue was keeping it real. It was that everybody else was just keeping it too fake. So, I had some things playing against me. So it doesn't matter what I would have done. I think it would have just,
So tell us about your castmates. Who did you take a liking to, whether their persona during the show or their persona, after everything is said and done? Tell us about some of your castmates as far as just, your relationship with them and things like that.
During my time in the circle during the show, it's funny because, as y'all know, I did not like Chloe to start out with. Like, they don't show how bad she was.
Did you watch her show on Too Hot to Handle?
No, because if I would have watched it, that bitch would have been gone.
Right, I actually watched
it
the Too Hot to Handle, and I'm like, she here.
I had never seen Too Hot to Handle because if I had, when Savannah was like, let's block her, I would have been like, bitch, she can go. If I would have known she was an influencer and as popular, like, amongst the rest of my castmates, she would have been the first one gone, like, on life, out of there. But, like, I didn't like her at first, but as our time in the circle went on, I actually started to like her. And, yeah, that's about it. But my story was a lot different in the circle. I didn't really get a chance to make a lot of connections because so many people were against me in the circle. So
now talk about that as far as why do you feel and why does it's all in the editing room floor and everything else.
Yeah.
Why were so many people, would you say, were against you, man? You're such a genuine soul. Damn.
Because of that. I think it was hard for them to believe that I was telling the truth and, quiet as kept if we just gonna be, real about it. There is a stigma in like black women in competition shows, and I think that biases start to take place that people aren't necessarily aware of, and I think that's kind of what happened, in my case. It was a part of the thing, and the Joker thing, and it was just a lot of things that were kind of set up against me, and it was hard for me to get out of that when it was set up against me,
How hard is it to maneuver when everybody's against you? It's like, and you don't know what to do next or who to trust, or how hard is that? Like, because we come up against things like that in real life.
Yeah.
So I mean, how hard was that for you to deal with, and what would be the kind of thing you would do to kind of navigate that if it ever happened again?
Honestly, there's nothing you can do about it. It's kind of like if you get jumped. All you can do is fight as hard as you can.
Amen.
And that's how I felt. Like, I felt like it was an uphill battle. I'm like, I'm still slaying these hoes, but I ain't gonna win. But I ain't gonna,
That's real.
I fought all the way to the end. I did it like as best as I could. And I think I did a good job for what it was.
I'm just curious because, I be watching Netflix shows and I be wondering, like, they only show us what they can show us. But are y'all allowed to, like, watch regular TV, be on your phones? Is it like you're honed in on the situation?
Yeah, you are in complete circle lockdown. They take your phones. I guess, so you don't Google somebody or to see if they really a catfish.
That's true. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
There was no TV. There was only one day during my time in the circle that we were allowed to watch Netflix. And it was like only certain things we were able to watch. Yeah, and I think it was cartoons. Or
That's
like,
smarter than
yeah.
That's smart. How long was filming?
We were out of the well, we had to quarantine for 2 weeks, and filming I think was 15 days.
Okay.
And that included the finale. I don't know, it was a while back, so I really can't remember for sure. But we were out of the country for a total of about maybe almost 6 weeks.
That's dope. And for those fans who are just really curious about the, Savannah Terilisha situation, man, it's April of 2022. Where is that situation at now? When you look back on it, do you still stand on everything you stand on? Is anything you would have done differently? Anything like that?
I still stand 10 toes down, but I would do a couple things differently, knowing what type of a snake of a player she was. When it came to the Truth or Dare game, which I think was where it got the most ugly, instead of saying her name, I would have said someone else's name. Because then that
But
would.
you wanted to say her name, so.
I
You
know.
mean just if you would have done it?
Now, if I would have
in
done it
retrospect,
differently,
hindsight,
I
yeah.
honestly would have said Lance, aka Lisa.
Yeah.
Because I knew, as an artist, you're not going to get $100,000 and go on tour. First of all, we don't pay for our own tours. So
Big
I
facts.
would have said Lance's name. So I definitely would have done that differently, for sure.
For your season, I believe the Lisa one. I'm curious, for you getting so close and getting so high up there. We always ask, what would you have done if you would have won and things like that. So we're curious, what would you have done if you would have won? What would have been your first big splurge, or who would you have taken care of?
I would have done. I've made a lot of money since the circle. I would have done exactly what I did. I would have paid off all of my debt. At the time, I don't have any now because I paid it off. But if I would have won, I would have paid off all my debt. I would have took a trip. I want to go to Greece really bad. Like, that's my bucket list trip. So I would have took myself to Greece. I would have put the rest in savings like I've been doing, and my music. I would have. My next project would have been done. It would have been out. It would be bomb.
Couple of features, a couple of nice situations.
Actually, not for the next project, but I could have put a little seed to the side for the one that come after that if I did want features, but. And
definitely. And we're going to touch back on the music. I definitely want to take it there, but I want to, keep it to your acting gigs. After the circle, I believe, what did you do after that? Because right then, the world knows you. The world falls in love with Terilisha, and now the booking started. And I can start doing things.
Yeah.
What was your next move? Did you have any plans right after that, or kind of what did you gravitate towards?
The plan is so funny because the thing about plans, they don't always work out. So the plan for me initially was the next music project, but I got booked for Love on Stage with Melissa Fredericks. So we did that. That was out in LA, and that was just an amazing time. It was so different from the circle, so I really appreciated that, and like the family that cultivated. Shout out to Melissa Fredericks and Kevin Fredericks, aka Mr. and Mrs. Kev on Stage.
Yep. A lot more melanin in that.
Yes,
situation.
y'all, the Kev on Stage studio app, get that. Go watch Love on Stage. That was a great experience, and then just connecting with like literally fans all over the world. Like, people just stay reaching out, or they want me to come visit or do these different things and different meet and greets. So that has kept me busy. But
Yeah, what is, because again, you come from humble beginnings.
Yeah.
So what for you what is the most drastic change you feel once the world knows you, and people who don't even speak this language is saying your name in all kind of accents?
Yes.
What changes for you? What have you seen personally, even just moving around, that's been wow, this is different now?
I literally can't just move around.
Yeah.
Or if I do, it's the excitement of when people be like, Terilisha? It's almost if they don't believe I exist. And I think people expect there are some people that are assholes, but I don't think people expect for us to be as approachable, or to be able to speak to us. So I think that's the wildest thing. Just everywhere I go, it doesn't matter where I go, everywhere. I go to Kroger and a person will be like, "What you doing here?" And I'll be like, "Well, bitch, I gotta get groceries too," you know?
Yeah, you should be in Target or something. Hey, have you ever told someone they're like, Terilisha, you ever told them, no, that's not me?
I did try that. I literally just tweeted this. Yesterday, I called the bank. And I normally do everything online, but I could not get in online. I called the bank, and the girl kept saying like, she was like, "Nah, it's you." She was like, "I know you. You the only person I know with this name." And she was like, "Girl, you got money." It was so funny. I was like, "Girl, don't be looking." It was the bank. Like, what can you do? But I thought that was so funny. It was super unprofessional. But she was still cool. You know what I'm saying? I didn't feel like I needed to be like, let me talk to your manager or nothing like that. But I think by far just being able, like, the people who, especially like black people who be like, girl, you represented for us. Yeah. That should be making my day. Go ahead.
Where is the worst place you've been recognized?
I don't have a worst place. Oh. Like everywhere. The worst type of place to be recognized is when I'm not looking cute because
I've seen you at the car wash before.
Right, right. So it's not but if I'm not looking cute, it's like, or people want pictures, I'll be like, damn, I ain't cute, but I'll do it. Right. But I'm never.
You gotta be careful of that too, because they be trying to catch you when you're not cute. So then they be like, oh, look at this.
Yeah, that happened to me at court. Mm-hmm. I was in jury duty, and that's the first time I ever told somebody I couldn't take a picture with them because that was one of the part of the jury duty. Like, don't let nobody know that this is what you're doing. And so I told him I couldn't, and he said, "Okay, cool." But then he took out his camera and like took the picture like with me behind him. I was like, "Okay." So you literally lose a lot of privacy in this. Life.
Would you say it's a fair trade-off? Like,
absolutely, okay. Absolutely.
Are you ready to be on TMZ, walking around and nigga jump out the bushes with a camera?
I think nobody really wants that, but I think it kind of comes with the territory, the higher that you rise. Like my dreams for myself and my goals, I do want to elevate. So, and I know the level that I want to elevate to, that may become a possibility if it happens. You gotta take the goods with the bad. So.
Now, Netflix has a plethora of series that are just very entertaining.
Yeah.
Are there any other shows that you would have liked to been a part of, or would have thought you would have been good at?
Yeah, Too Hot to Handle.
Oh, okay.
I have always said that after I watched the show, I was like, yo, I could do this show because I could totally not have sex. Let's go get this money. Like, get off me.
Right.
Like that's an easy bag.
Very
so simple.
Not easy for who though? Listen. If a dude comes on and really applies the pressure, and I'm talking about you ain't never met no dude like this. Like he knows like shit that you ain't even shit.
Yeah.
And you say you're focused, but I think with Too Hot to Handle, there are moments of weakness that you be like, shit, man. Shit, man. Shit, man. I mean,
I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. Like,
so she that bag too. That
bag
bag look too sexy. That's
the sexy motherfucking bag. Like, I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to like. You trying to get this money? You trying to get that man? Like, you trying to get that cash and give up that coochie? Like,
that's true. That's big fact.
Yeah, I think that would be fun, and maybe a dating show. I've been single for a minute, so I think it would be possibly.
I want your thoughts on the concept and the experiment of Love is Blind, where she laughed. What is your thoughts on that experiment? Do you feel it's a true to life experiment that can work?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't know about y'all, but I gotta like what I see. So of course you want to get to the emotional connection. You want to be able to love somebody outside of the physical. But I don't give a fuck what nobody say. The physical matters. Like I have to find you sexy I have got to want to like love on you, sex on you, all of those things, and I can't do that with somebody that's.
So let's say it's all hypothetical.
Yeah.
Behind the screen, everything he's saying, he's a 10. You know, like, hey, he's gonna get down on one knee. He's a 10. Everything he's saying.
Right.
And he wants to propose, and you're like, damn it, yes. And he comes out from behind this curtain, and he's a solid 6.5. Solid 6. That's right above average.
Okay, so in real life, who would be considered a 6.5? Like, I didn't know where are we met. I like, cause for me, like, I'm thinking like.
ESTG.
Yeah. right.
Who?
Let's say he comes out looking like, look, hey, little baby before the money. Let's just say little baby before the money.
Well, see, I think Lil Baby kind of cute.
Okay, so I mean, you know, the money, money makes everybody look right. So I'm trying to think of somebody who, Lil Wayne before the money. I mean, now, I can't really say Lil Wayne.
Like ESTG.
Yeah, I gotta say.
Nah, you got no. Because think about it. Looks matter. You know, looks matter, and like if you want, people will be lying like, oh, it don't matter, or he's still cute, she's still cute, no, or he funny. Like for me, I want to, you know, I can't. If you want to like love up on somebody, you know what I mean? Like,
true.
I gotta look you in your face, and if I don't like what I see, I'm not gonna be turned on.
Yeah, I tell a man that even if she does accept you, there's other men that might turn her on that you got to deal with. I mean, you could be the greatest man, but if another man walks in and she's getting all and just from his presence, you got to deal with that.
Yeah.
And most men, do you even want to deal with that? Like,
I mean, if they saw my exes, they would know. Like, there's no way in fuck. My exes are fine as fuck.
See,
So
hey,
yeah, no.
You're not with them. Yeah. And they're fine as fuck.
No, but and.
That's what I'm saying. Like when you.
But we're not together because they didn't have good personalities or, you know, life happens. But no, what I'm saying is a part of why our relationship works outside of them being sexy is they did still have great personalities. We would have never made it if I did not find them attractive.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
So let's say if it was a solid 8 steps around the corner.
Yeah, hey, that's good. That's pass.
Okay, yeah.
Let's
Okay,
go.
I gotta be able to show you off to somebody. God damn. Shit. Nah, I feel it. Now, what I do want to ask as far as Love is Blind, great concept. They're in, I believe, season 2. Watch that's great. But now, everyone right now is on Ultimatum. Mm-hmm. Have you got a chance to watch that show?
I did.
Okay, I just binged it. I just binged it last night. You know, what are your thoughts on that crazy ass concept? Because that shit's crazy as fuck to me, but.
I think that it's crazy, but also I think that the show would have worked to a different demographic. I don't understand what's the point of 20-year-olds setting ultimatums like you're 23. Like,
we've been together a year and a
yeah,
half.
that's crazy. Now, if you would have asked the 35-year-olds, the 36-year-olds,
I want to see the old. I want to see the old.
We've been together 6 years,
7 years, 8 years.
Yeah, like we tiptoeing on 40.
Right.
Me personally, as a woman, I don't want to have to force a man or beg a man to see that he want to be with me forever or to marry me. So I wouldn't necessarily be on a show like Ultimatum. And I find it irritating with all dating shows when they only have one black couple.
I honestly, when I seen Ultimatum, I loved it for that reason, for the fact that the people that got to the level of, you know, changing partners, it looked like 3 ethnic couples, one Caucasian couple, and I'm like, I love to see that on screen, and I love the fact that people are so receptive of it. So I actually love that about Ultimatum. That's
what you loved about Love is Blind, season 2. They didn't have that in Ultimatum. They had one black couple. Everybody else was.
No, I mean, they look, again, I say ethnic because they look of ethnic descent some way. I mean, man, we had, let me remember their names. We had Ray and Zay and Ray.
But they.
Shanique and Randall.
They were the only full black couple. That's what I'm saying. Everybody else was mixed. I want to see.
Okay,
so when you date with, I want to see like black. Say
Keisha.
Yeah,
say Keisha. Hey, nah, you ain't gonna sleep with Tyrell like that.
Black love, and I feel like with dating shows like that, you had one full black couple. The only person they could match with were people who, outside of Shanique and Zay. Everybody else was white. Like I don't.
Man, Terilisha, you know they can't have no show like that with some real black. Listen, the concept of this show is, for those who don't know the concept, You're in a relationship. You're thinking about marriage, but one person is, they're on the fence. So you go on this show, and for 3 weeks, you look at other couples, and y'all chop it up, and then you go spend 3 weeks with another couple, or another person
Another
of another
partner,
couple,
yeah.
or another partner, and then you come back to your own partner to see if the ultimatum is real, if you want to marry this person or not. And with that being said, what I didn't know when I watched the show, you have to actually interact with the fucking other couples throughout.
Yeah.
Like that shit.
Yeah.
Black people cannot be in a situation where we on a party bus and I didn't slept with this dude's girl for 3 weeks and he just looking at me. I just don't see it. I don't see it working. You know what I'm saying? You can have some Jefferson, some Huxtable type.
Right. I don't know.
So I have to ask, with that show and that concept, as you said, you could see it working. You could see it, that being needed.
Yeah.
You as a woman, do you feel if a man there's one thing about him that is not saying a deal breaker, but there's doubt? Mm-hmm. Would you propose?
Would I propose to a man? Absolutely the fuck not. Why would I do that?
Would you make him propose to you?
No, I don't want to make a man propose to me. I want a man to want to, be married to me, spend the rest of his life with me. Like, I have no intention ever in life to force a man to do anything. Like, if you want me, cool. And then, I don't know. I think, like, I'm 35, you know what I mean? So I just don't, I feel like a lot of times men know what they want. And if they want to marry you, they will. If they want to be with you, they will. Sometimes they may not know, but I'm not going to force you to have to know with me.
So do women know what they want and say, yeah, I want that, I'm going to keep that?
I can't speak for all women. I can speak for Terilisha, and when I know what I want, I know what I want, and I'm gonna tell you that you are who I want. So,
I feel it. Are there any other shows that we might not be up on that you might have as a favorite that we should know about on Netflix at least? Let's keep plugging Netflix right now.
No, I can't think of any right now.
Okay.
If you could make your own show, create your own show, what would be the premise and what would it be called?
Oh, that's a good question. Does it have to include me or no?
No.
I've never been asked this question before. I don't know.
Something to think about. You might have to.
That is a really great question. No, I'm going to think about that and then I'll let you know. I can't, off top right now, I can't think of anything. I mean, I would like to do a show maybe with me, showing like the, elevation for me going here forward, but, I don't know if people want to see that.
Could you do like For the Love of Terilisha show where like 25 men vouch for your love?
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Let's run the play.
Yes. What's up, babes?
All
Call
right.
me. No, that actually would be, I think that would be a really, like the Black Bachelorette.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I think that would be dope.
You think you could like?
But I don't want it to be
you
like,
could curve
it got to be real
You could curve
men.
24 men?
If they're not what I want, yeah.
All right.
Because, sometimes they be putting people intentionally that they're not going to like. I think the hard part, if they gave me like, 24 like of my actual type, that might be hard, but that would be a really great show.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So I also want to touch on, again, back into your acting back. You was able to, be in the Triple D movie.
Gang, gang.
I believe you. I think what club was they filmed at here in Dallas? It was one of the clubs out here, one of the strip clubs out here, where you had.
I don't even remember.
I can't remember either, but I definitely want to shout them out. How was that as far as you getting onto that? It was a lot of Dallas loving that movie, a lot of Dallas actors and actresses, and again, the late great MO3 was on there as far as doing his thing. How was getting on that show? Get on that movie, working with the director, working with the other cast members, and kind of doing your thing.
It was amazing. A lot of people don't know, but I was initially casted in a completely different role, but then I got booked for The Circle. So I had to give up that role. And initially when they were shooting, it was only supposed to be for literally the same amount of time I was overseas. But when I got back, they were still shooting. So it was like, I'm about to write you in. And he wrote me in as Lily, the door manager.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Who would you have, what role would it have been?
I was initially the babysitter.
Oh, man, you would have got knocked off.
I would have been knocked off, so I'm really kind of happy
Spoiler
I had
alert.
to see myself like that. Yeah. Spoiler. But that was my initial role. That's the role that I read for him. We did our, our cast sit down, our reading, and Mo actually sat right next to me during that.
Man.
And we clowned the entire time.
That's crazy.
The
That's
entire
crazy.
time. So.
How was that for him watching his table read and knowing that he really took this serious as far as trying to be an actor?
Man, he took it so serious. It's really sad to know the type of star he had the potential to be. Like, he was a star, and to see how he was going to elevate in his role for him, and just the things that he wanted for his future in acting and in music. It's a cut down, but I'm happy I got the experience and the rest of the cast got to, experience it.
Definitely. Now in that movie, man, there was a couple of elongated sex scenes, man, that I'm like, man, this is kind of going here.
Yeah, it was deep.
If the director, if E said, hey, Terilisha, man, we need you to play this role right here, man. We got this 7-minute sex scene.
E, sit down.
Would you? E said, sit back down, all the way down.
Look, government name Terrence, sit down. No, there's nothing wrong with a love scene, but for me, right now and where I'm trying to go, that doesn't serve me.
Yeah, I think there's an art to all love scenes. I think one of the most questionable love scenes I ever seen was Lala and Power.
Because why?
To sleep with the help.
Yeah, because why?
To me, it was a weird thing. It didn't really.
Yeah.
It didn't quite do nothing for the story. At least I'm like, it was. Do some Halle Berry Monsters Ball Oscar winning.
Oh, you with it?
Yeah, do some of that and make it make sense, man. So
I mean, I'm not opposed to it, but I believe in the art of what that should be. So if I ever take it, to a certain level, it won't look like that.
Yeah.
At least I would, I'm mindful of that type of thing.
yeah. All right, so again, a lot of people who watch Netflix, watch these dating shows, it makes people question as far as just the dating norms, and like you said, you're a little older, and therefore you come from 80s baby, you kind of what's going on back then, but the younger generation, they have just a different creed. I was doing a podcast where I was with some kids, and we were talking about Valentine's Day, and it was like a 13-year-old kid, and he's like, I was like, what you getting your girl for Valentine's? He's like, what you mean what I'm getting? What's she getting me? I'm like, oh, damn.
Wow.
Is that where it is now? Like, oh.
Wow, okay.
So it made me question, like, okay, man, I think, just with gender roles and things are changing, man, like you might go into a relationship where you're the breadwinner.
Uh-huh.
When it comes to in a relationship, if you are the breadwinner and the other, your male counterpart is, he's an independent artist or something, he's coming up. Do you still expect him to take care of majority of the bills? Do you look at it 50-50, or do you look at a percentage based on what we make?
It's really hard to say because every situation is different. It's hard to answer that because the answer changed depending on what's happening. I can't speak to household situations with with this hypothetical, but I believe with any relationship, we both should be giving 100%. So I can say that.
That's true.
We should both give 100%, and whatever works for our household will work. Yeah.
Do you feel, and it kind of goes back to even the ultimatum show, do you feel like a man could ask for your hand in marriage but still live apart from you up until wedding day?
What you mean live apart? Like
be engaged for however long, but y'all have not lived together. He still has his place, you still have yours, he still goes back home, you still stay.
I mean, I think that's okay. But at what point do we merge into one?
So
that shit ain't gonna work.
No, wait. No, hey, it happens. It happens a lot. You'd be surprised.
Well, I mean, I've
Most
done
people
long
don't give
distance before. I mean, we weren't married, but if you live in one state and I live in another,
so
it worked. You gotta make it work.
If y'all do, Ty and I get married,
yeah,
and he says, hey, I want to keep my house. I pay for that house. We're gonna get a house ourselves, but I'm gonna keep that house. And it's gonna be maybe my go-to spot if I just need to get away.
There we go. Because fuck no. No, absolutely not.
So-
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
Because what's you not ready to be married if that's where your mind is at.
there you go.
But I know women who do that. They have a house and they keep their house. And you know why they say, just in case this nigga trip, I always got somewhere to go.
Are they selling that home out though? Or is it just sitting there?
It's just sitting there. They just paying the mortgage on it.
Okay. Well,
Could you,
to each his own.
could you move in with a man who would not put you on the lease, or put you on the paperwork?
Yeah.
The deed? Okay.
I could because I got my own money. So if some ever reason, you know, again, everybody's situation is different. But for me, and I believe that my marriage will always forever work. So, but in the event he didn't, I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't feel comfortable, but if you didn't, I wouldn't trip because if I ever have to leave,
Yeah, I believe
I'm good.
Yeah, I do believe in the thought of going in and saying, okay, you have the marriage supposed to work, but just in case.
Yeah,
Just in case.
just in case.
You got it over here.
Yeah, no, I'm very big on partnership, so I don't want to go into anything where I feel like we're not one on everything.
Yeah, building a bridge. You got to build the bridge.
You have to because we not one in two different places.
So he has access to your bank account, right? There you go. She's like, listen.
Nigga.
Listen,
No,
listen.
Steve. No, you don't even have to answer that. Steve Harvey already said, you got your account, he got his account,
and
we
we got
have
our
our
account.
account.
And that's what I believe.
I didn't see all the shit.
I mean, you can say it, don't mean you can get
see-
on it.
You can see that I have a check.
You can see all you like, babe.
So, true. Okay, all right. So if we have access to say, hey, what's your balance, man? You know.
Yeah, it's not that to me.
No,
That's
I need
not
to
a
know if I
problem.
need to borrow 20,000 real quick. I need to shit. No, we living that kind of lifestyle.
The
Just a little quick
lifestyles are a
20.
lot different now. Them 20 bands, they gonna come right back.
Boom.
So.
There you go.
Yeah.
Talk to him. Talk to him. So I want your thoughts and you know, your opinion as far as what type of relationship this is. When you see Will Smith walk up and slap Chris Rock in the name of his wife to keep her name out of his mouth, what do you see is going on in that relationship?
I see no comment.
She's smart. She's smart. She's smart.
That's the
I want to go to the red table
look.
one day.
That is the Smith's business, okay? No comment. But what I can say that what I would have done is I would have been like, babe, no. That's what I would have done.
So then we got, you know, I'm gonna phrase this to where you can't say no comment. ASAP Rocky and Rihanna. They went through a situation recently where it was false, but you know the rumors came about to where you still have to have that conversation with your significant other about, you know, hey, are you stepping out on me? And you know, I'm about to drop this baby and we're about to live this life.
Yeah.
When a woman or when a child is involved, is cheating a deal breaker when children are involved?
Cheating is a deal breaker, whether children are involved or not, for me. Again, everybody is different. For me, it's a no for me.
There you go.
It's a no for me.
And it's crazy because, you know, when the kids are involved, it does make it a little harder.
Yeah.
Immediately, it makes it harder.
Especially if you're pregnant.
Listen,
this
we're
is
supposed to be-
our first pregnancy or, you know, experience together, and you, especially being in your 30s, you waited your whole adulthood to finally decide to have, you know, a kid. So you wanted it to work, obviously. But I know from my experiences, you know, through life that it's really no getting past like certain infidelities, and that's just, I wish you the best.
Talk to him. Talk to him. So I'm curious, you know, ever since the circle, you know, you're out there to the world. How are the DMs looking right now, man? How, like, what situation happens to the DMs behind the scenes that you could even touch on?
Man, it's a lot of
Is
blue
it 0
checks.
to 100 like real quick?
Real quick, real quick. But the thing is, it all feels so artificial. You know, it don't feel.
Bots? Like bots?
No, they're like the guys.
Blue check start?
No, for real. Like they up, and some of them are cute, but it's just like it don't. That's like the intention. Like, what's
Yeah,
what's
you
the
wasn't with
intention?
me. Yeah, it's crazy because you were who you are before that. But sometimes people don't
They didn't know me,
Yeah, it's
so
just
no,
like
I
the
get it.
exposure gets
Yeah,
you to
the
like, oh,
exposure is
shit.
real.
And some people in this business only like to talk to people in this business
Yeah.
because they understand
It makes
the
sense.
business.
It makes sense.
So therefore, they won't reach out to a normal you. They will reach out to a more turned up you because
Yeah.
now we could have a conversation that's
Yeah.
equal.
Yeah.
What is your curve game like, if any?
Curve game real strong. Real strong, but it's respectful.
Okay.
I know what I like and I know what I don't like. So I do not play around with people's feelings. If I like you, then I'm willing to explore it. If not, then I'm very straightforward.
You ain't gonna hit him with you gonna hit him with the boy. You ugly.
No, I'm
Okay,
not
okay.
gonna do that.
Respectfully.
Respectfully, I'm not gonna do that because you know you can't really move like that in 2022. Like niggas is
Cannot.
gunning bitches down. Like so.
Nah, that's
you
facts.
know,
That's facts. Talk about it. That's facts.
No
Talk
cap.
About
A bitch just got ran over last week.
Seriously, go to World Star. Okay, well, you know, at least it's respectful. You know, with a glimmer of hope.
I do not give hope where it's not.
So you shut it like
100% because I don't want nobody to play my feelings, so I do not play with nobody's feelings.
Like, how do you shut it all the way down? Like, what do you just say? No, like
No is a complete sentence. I am not interested is a complete sentence. That's not what I want to do with you. It's a complete sentence. And most men are very respectful of that. Some of them get a little mad.
Some
but
get a little aggressive.
Am I aggressive?
No, some of them might get a little aggressive.
The blue checks be real aggressive. I think they're not used to.
Like, listen, shawty.
Yeah, they're not used to women turning them down.
I can see that. Has there been a situation that was almost enticing that you would have quick flight to Tulum, Greece?
I didn't want to go to Mexico. You gonna take me to Greece?
I got a little situation in Greece.
You almost got me in Greece.
I'm just saying.
No. I don't even want to say it out loud.
I don't want to say it.
I don't even want to say it out loud.
Real life street
But
stars.
no, there's been some really like nice guys, but I don't think I was quite ready to like pursue new people. So.
Okay. Well, they on game now.
Yeah, call me, boo. Call me.
So with that being said, T, what do you have plans coming up for 2022? What do you have in the works? What's in the stash right now?
I was booked for another television show. I can't speak on it yet, NDA, but I'm really excited about that. It's a nice little bag.
Okay. Is it in production now or about to be in production?
It's about to be in production, so it's soon come.
Get busy, man. I love it.
It's gonna get real. Summertime is looking real lit. When I get back, I'm going to start recording the next project, so I can release it at the same time that the new show releases. Kind of let's run them numbers up.
There you go.
Ride the wave, and things are a lot different. So it's gonna be a really good like musical release for me. Like my team is right this time. Like the songs are amazing.
There you go.
It's a 7-song project. It's actually what was originally the Blue Heart EP 2. It's just kind of revamped since so much time has went by.
Yeah.
So I've retitled it to the Revelations EP because as time has gone by, I've had some revelations about my heart, my feelings, and this person. So I'm really, really excited about that. Like the songs are so. If those songs weren't so good, I probably would like move on from the whole topic itself. But I think it's gonna touch a lot of hearts.
If you could point to one song or video that you got out now that you want fans who might not have seen your stuff yet, let them know where you'll send them to as far as the name of the song.
I would send them to the entirety of my discography. But if I had to pick one song, the fan favorite, which was Jealous. Go watch the video. Go listen to the Blue Heart EP.
Much love.
The Sex So Good video, which is also from the Blue Heart EP.
Definitely.
I would lead them to that and just tell them to expect even more, better for the next project. I'm just really excited, like musically. This is like my last full R&B project, I really want to kind of like transition to like the R&B pop.
Yeah,
like,
no,
lane.
definitely. I really want
Cause
to.
that, that's where I started off with, like
Exactly.
Spotlight and 99.
Exactly.
Like all my other music's kind of poppy, but Love hit different. Like
It is different.
Love hit different, so I had to get into my R&B bag.
Exactly, and I think you're in a space to where it works perfectly for you. Again, and I think for the fans that sit at home, definitely, man, the acting is there,
Yeah.
the talent is there, but also the music is just as good and on par. I'm curious if Snoop Dogg was to reach out to you, just on some blue, just on some gang. would you would you tie in with Snoop?
What's up, Unc?
There you go, man. Let's lock him, Unc. Let's lock him.
Call me Unc. What's up?
Man, that's real, man. For those that do want to get at you, man, want to follow the movement, man, and just see everything you have going on, just stay in tune with what you got going on. How can they get at you?
On my social media, at Terilisha on all social platforms, Terilisha.com. You can reach me there. That's literally about it. I'm everywhere. If you just want to check out my music, Google, Amazon, iTunes,
Google me.
Spotlight.
Yeah, I'm Googleable.
You got Pandora going on, Spotify. It's everywhere. Wherever you listen to music. Yeah.
There you go, man. Any shout outs you want to give?
Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for having me.
Love.
Shout out to God for doing his thing. Thank you, Jesus.
Man, coming through.
And to, Team Terilisha, everybody who has supported me. And even to those who don't support me, I still appreciate, your hate too.
Yeah, you need the haters. Man, well, hey, it's not every time we get to say this, man, where people actually do get lit and they don't forget and they come through and they sit down with us, man, and bless our game. As we've been watching you rise, man. It's a blessing to have you sit down on this couch. I'm glad it matched. Everything is right. It's like it was made for you. But we have you here on the couch, man. Y'all go run up them Netflix numbers on The Circle, season 2. And everything else she has going on, man. We have her on the couch. Terilisha, man, you are a real life street star. Salute.
Shout out Reallyfe street stars, nigga. Move. Hey.